I'm in my room. It isn't particularly well lit, with only one small light in front of me. I look around, there's nothing in the room save some cabinets and a chair. For some reason, I feel compelled to leave. When I do, I know I've made a mistake. I don't know why I feel that way. The hallway is unremarkable, with doors that presumably lead to rooms like mine, spaced consistently along the walls. I begin walking, looking for something. I don't know what, but I'm looking. I get to the end of the hallway and see that it opens up into two more hallways, leading to the left and right. I look down both. They seem to be the same. I choose right. I get to the end of that hallway. It splinters off into one direction. I keep following it until I see that this direction doesn't actually lead anywhere. I go back to the original hallway I was in and go left instead. Suddenly it hits me. I'm in a maze. And as soon as that realization hits me, I can hear something else. A high-pitched, shrill cry of some kind of animal, its claws hitting the steel floor. Click, clack, click, clack. There's something here, something with me. A dangerous animal? Judging from the sound of its footsteps, it's walking, which means it doesn't know I'm here yet. If I stay quiet, choose the way I go carefully, I may be able to get to the end of the maze without it even knowing I'm here. I move faster, but I make sure my feet hit the ground as silently as possible. And it seems to be working. I get to another fork, but this one has 3 directions, one going forward, 2 going to the left and right. Going forward is always a trap, I think. I go to the left, it isn't long, but before I see another fork. Click clack, click clack, click clack. It's going faster, it may be able to smell me. I'll give it something to smell. I'll take off some of my clothes, quickly run down the corridor, a dead end, and leave them there. It isn't a foolproof plan, but acts of desperation so rarely are. I backtrack and keep moving. Click clack, click clack, click clack, click clack. It's at a full gallop now. It knows I'm here. It's hunting me. I got to keep moving. With any luck, it'll go after the fake scent that should keep it confused for a bit. I hit a dead end, the sound's getting closer, but given that this is a maze, it could be coming right down my hallway, or in the hallway over. I'm not taking the chance. I go to this nearest door, which I've ignored up until now for a reason I can't place, and try to open it. But it won't open. It's locked. I could force it, but that would make too much noise. I go to the next door. It's locked too. I look inside the glass window and I'm shocked to see someone inside. Hey! I whisper, "Hey, let me in!" The person turns towards me. I know who he is, he's a friend of mine. "Hey! Let me in! It's me!" I whisper, this time a bit louder. "There's something out here, man!" He looks at me, dead in the eyes, and turns around. I keep shaking the doorknob, but he doesn't turn to look at me again. "Hey!" I say again, on the verge of tears. "Please, please let me in!" Suddenly it hits me. I haven't had that thing's claws in a while. I turn around and see it. It's just been staring at me this whole time, waiting for me to notice it. It's some kind of reptile. It's the size of a person, standing at about 6 feet tall, from head to tail, probably about 9 feet long. It's thin though, it's made to be fast on its feet. Not a single pound of muscle goes to waste. Its arms are long and bony, probably not very strong, but from the look of its claws, it doesn't have to be to get the job done. Its head is what scares me the most. Its head is probably a foot long, and I can see its teeth. Long, thin, sharp, and numerous. But the worst part is easily its eyes. 2 at the front of its head, dark yellow with thin diamond-shaped irises, and they're both looking right at me. I turn and run. It waits for a second and lets out a loud battle cry, a scream so high-pitched it hurts my ears if I had the time to care. Then it runs after me. I made a few quick turns. I happen to see it as I turn. It's going too fast to stop. Ends up sliding on the ground and running into a wall. If I keep making turns, I'll build up some distance. Of course, I find out the flaw in the plan as soon as I hit a dead end in it. It's a maze, after all. I turn around back, figuring I can make it. I get back to an intersection. Suddenly I'm on the ground, sliding. I only have a few seconds to glance, but I know what happened. I ran right into the damn thing. It's on the ground. I pushed it into a wall. Dazed it. I'm on the floor. For a brief moment, our eyes meet. I can get up faster than it can, but it doesn't focus on that. It takes a quick lunge at me. I manage to put my hands on its head, shove it into the ground using its momentum. In the process of getting to my feet, I made a break for the opposite direction, make a few turns, praying I don't find a dead end. I hear another of its battle cries. It isn't loud or high-pitched. It sounds almost indifferent. No. It sounds almost sarcastic. And I see why. When it lunged at me, one of its claws slashed my arm. I'm bleeding. I'm leaving a trail for it to follow. It doesn't have to run anymore. It just has to wait until I find myself in a dead end. But I do. There's something that tells me there's an end to this maze. If I find it, I'm safe. I keep moving, keep making turns, but inevitably it happens. I hit a dead end. I turn around to see it, just barely moving at a jog. It sees me and practically smiles at me. It knows I'm dead. So do I. I fight it off as best as I can, hitting it, trying to wrestle it to the ground so maybe I can run away again. But it slashes at me with its claws so many times that a few of my limbs don't even work anymore. It bites me, pulls things out of me, and all the while I'm thinking, God, this is familiar. Finally it hits me. I had dreams like this. I have dreams like this. I'm having this dream. Normally I'd wake up, but suddenly I find myself back at the beginning of the maze inside that room. But I know it's a dream, a recurring dream I've had since I saw Jurassic Park as a kid. I'm told that most people, when they realise they're in a dream, they wake up, and I can tell that's what my mind wants. I'm fully conscious, I have all my memories, I can remember what I had for dinner that night, I can remember taking my sleeping pills, I can remember what I was doing shortly before I decided to go to bed. But I can't wake up. I'm trying to get control of my real body. It concentrates real hard. I can feel my arms and legs against the sheets. I can feel my eyes, they're closed, and I'm doing my best to open them. That feeling is like pushing against a wall. You push harder and harder, but it never budges. I'm trapped in that nightmare. And there's nothing I can do about it. So I figure, hey, if I can't wake up, maybe I don't need to. I'll just have a bit of fun until my alarm goes off. This is my dream, right? I can make it whatever I want to make it. Say hello to a couple of hours of first sexual fantasies. Except that's not how it works. Not for me, anyway. In the hundreds of times this has happened to me, I've never managed to change the dream to something more preferable. I've been trapped in a dream that wasn't a nightmare, which wasn't so bad, if a bit boring. I have to deal with this until I wake up. I stay in the room for a bit. Time is different in a dream. It felt like I stayed in that room pacing back and forth for hours. In reality it was probably a few minutes. Finally I decided I just had to play this game. I go down the maze. It's different than it was before, I think. I get halfway into it and I hear that raptor coming for me. I get to thinking, maybe if I'm not afraid of it, it won't be able to hurt me. That didn't work. Maybe it's because it's hard not to be afraid of something that's eating you and tearing you apart, or maybe my subconscious just really hates me. In either case, I found myself back at the beginning, like I respawned at a checkpoint in a video game. I did the maze about 50 times, each time ending in a rather painful failure. I actually tried to fight the raptor a few times. Closest I ever got to hurting it was jabbing its eyes out once. But finally it happened. My alarm goes off, I wake up. It takes me a while to shake off the dream, the sheer terror of what happened, but I put it behind me. It's a Wednesday. School day. I'm a junior in high school and I've got shit to do. I get in my car, drive to school. buy some breakfast and Burger King on the way while listening to my Best of Aerosmith CD. I get to school. I have to park all the way in the back of the parking lot and walk half a mile. I talk to some of my friends over the morning announcement, and I'm late to first period. My teacher dogs me for not doing my homework, but I blow her off. She starts a class, it's government, and we're going over the judiciary branch. The feeling creeps up on me slowly. I happen to glance at the clock, it says 4:30, but I just figure it's off or busted. But then I have a feeling I've been here before. I open up some muster to find there's nowhere to know the books. Then it hits me. I graduated high school years ago. The car I drove in on, I sold it last year. I lost that CD too, and those friends I talked to before class, I haven't seen them in I don't know how long. One of them is dead. I'm still dreaming. I'm going to keep dreaming until my alarm goes off. And there isn't anything I can do about it.